What if I told you that one question, one that most families would never even imagine asking, has now become the biggest storm hanging over Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? A question so sharp, so explosive, that it could shake not only their image, but also the very foundation of the monarchy itself. Tonight, we're diving into the claims, the whispers, and the silence that refuses to go away. And trust me, once you hear this, you'll want to stay until the very end. Prince Harry and Meghan built their brand around family. Every interview, every documentary, every heartfelt statement has circled back to the same theme: protecting their children, giving them the life Harry never had, and redefining what modern royalty looks like. But now, that very image is under fire. And at the centre of the storm is a name that always makes headlines in royal circles: Tom Bower. Known for his explosive books and investigations, Bower doesn't just make casual remarks, he drops bombshells. And his latest claims have left the world asking, who exactly are Archie and Lilibet? For most families, such a question would be insulting, even cruel. But for Harry and Meghan, whose every move has been carefully branded, polished, and broadcast, the whispers cut differently. They've created a world where perception is everything. And that means when someone questions their truth, the damage can spread like wildfire. According to Bower and the debates now raging online, this isn't just about parenting choices or privacy. This is about bloodline, legacy, the royal succession itself. Imagine this. You are Harry, once the cheeky prince beloved around the world, now a man who walked away from the palace for love, freedom, and the promise of building his own story. But suddenly, the very core of that story, your children, are being pulled into question. For Meghan, the narrative is just as intense. Instead of quiet family life, reports say she's fighting with lawyers, drafting legal warnings, and trying to silence the storm. But here's the irony. The harder you try to hide something, the more the world wants to know. Critics point to strange inconsistencies: the staged pregnancy photos, the lack of traditional hospital announcements, the absence of candid royal family moments. Why, they ask, were timelines so vague? Why were family appearances so carefully controlled? And why, even now, are Archie and Lilibet so rarely seen with senior royals like King Charles or Prince William's children? Are these coincidences, or is there more to the story? And then there's the royal family. If these rumours were truly ridiculous, surely the palace would step in, right? A word from Charles, a public family photo, a simple gesture could silence the noise. But instead, there's been silence. No birthday wishes from official accounts. No warm photographs with the Queen. Just distance. Some observers suggest that silence is a strategy, that by keeping away, the monarchy protects itself, just in case the whispers grow into something bigger. And now, Bower has lit the match. His suggestion that Harry and Meghan's family story might not be as simple as it seems. Not just whispers about surrogacy, but bigger questions about biological connections, legitimacy, and what that could mean for royal tradition. Of course, these are claims, explosive, controversial, and fiercely debated. But whether true or not, the damage is already happening. The public is demanding answers, and Harry and Meghan's silence only fuels the fire. Reports from Montecito paint a tense picture. Insiders describe Harry pacing, scrolling endlessly through headlines, and obsessing over every photograph and rumour. The same man who once championed mental health now seems caught in a spiral of fear and paranoia. Meanwhile, Meghan is described as colder, more calculated, focused on legal strategies and silencing the conversation through threats. But critics say every legal warning only makes people ask, why silence something unless it hits too close to the truth? Here's where it gets serious. If there is any truth to these claims, it's not just about Harry and Meghan. It's about the monarchy, the line of succession, the future of the crown. Royal watchers argue that even the suggestion of uncertainty could be catastrophic, because in the world of royalty, bloodline is everything. Imagine the headlines if questions about legitimacy were ever proven true. It wouldn't just be a scandal, it would be an earthquake. And in today's world, rumours don't just live in tabloids, they explode online. Hashtags trend, panelists debate on television, YouTubers create endless videos. The more Harry and Meghan stay silent, the more the digital wildfire grows. One demand has started echoing louder than ever: DNA testing. To some, it sounds absurd. To others, it feels inevitable. But the fact that this conversation has reached mainstream platforms shows how far the storm has spread. This is a PR nightmare. Harry and Meghan built their brand around authenticity, around family, around rewriting what it means to be royal. But when those very foundations are questioned, every Netflix special, every podcast, every magazine cover starts to look like a carefully staged illusion. And the world is noticing. Critics call it hypocrisy. Fans feel betrayed. And in the middle of it all, Harry and Meghan remain silent. Look closer, and the distance between the Sussex children and the royal family becomes impossible to ignore. William and Kate's children are regularly photographed with Charles, Camilla, and were often seen with the late Queen. Archie and Lilibet? Almost never. Is this simply geography and choice, or quiet caution from the palace? Some insiders even suggest it's protection, that by keeping their distance, the royals shield themselves from a scandal they've always feared might erupt. And so the pressure builds. Every week without answers, every silence, every legal threat only sharpens the question. Will Harry and Meghan continue to stay silent? Or will they be forced to confront the rumours head-on? Because in the court of public opinion, silence doesn't just sound like privacy. It sounds like guilt. For Harry, this is more than public embarrassment. It's deeply personal. Fatherhood was his redemption story. Every step away from the palace, every feud, every sacrifice, he said it was for his children. But what happens when even that foundation is questioned? Friends describe a man unravelling, his once solid identity cracking under pressure. Meghan, meanwhile, remains the strategist, but even her approach draws criticism, because legal threats can silence headlines, but they can't silence doubt. And here lies the danger. This story isn't just about now, it's about legacy. Centuries from now, when people look back at the House of Windsor, they won't remember every interview or Instagram post. They'll remember the scandals that defined it. And this could be one of them. Because questions of bloodline don't fade, they linger, they shape history. So, what happens next? Will Harry and Meghan release evidence, speak openly and finally put the rumours to rest? Or will they cling to silence, allowing speculation to define them? Right now, the silence is deafening. The palace says nothing. The Sussexes say nothing. And the world keeps asking, what are they hiding? This isn't just another tabloid drama. This is a defining moment in royal history. A story of image, of truth, of power, and of silence. And in the end, it all circles back to one haunting question. Who are Archie and Lilibet, really?